What is the topic? Module 1, page 14. The topic is the general subject of a selection. It's not a complete sentence, but can be simply expressed in several words. Knowing the topic can help you find a writer's main point about the topic. When looking for the topic, ask yourself, who or what is the selection about? Below are 4 items. 1 is the topic, 1 is the main idea, and 2 are details that support and develop the main idea. Let's start by looking for the topic. Remember, a topic is the general subject of the selection, not a supporting detail, not an opinion or main idea statement about it, just the general subject. Option A. One voter preferred the opinions and beliefs of the politician they voted for. B. People make several judgments when they choose who to vote for. Option C. Judgments voters make. Option D. One voter said that they liked how one politician spoke during speeches. Again, we're looking for the topic, the general subject of the text, the main idea, which would be the author's opinion or main argument or point about that topic, and then specific supporting details that would support it. Of these 4 options, the topic is C. Judgments voters make. Notice that it's not a complete sentence, it's not a statement or a point or opinion about it, it's simply a subject. Judgments voters make. The main idea, the author's main point about these judgments, is B. People make several judgments when they choose who to vote for. So if the topic is judgment voters make, the author's opinion about these judgments is that people make several judgments when they choose who to vote for. That leaves A and D as our specific details. Option A says, one voter preferred the opinions and beliefs of the politician they voted for. This is a specific judgment people make when they vote, that they prefer the opinions and beliefs of one politician over the other. So that would be a specific detail, a supporting detail that supports the idea that people make judgments when they vote, which falls under the overarching topic of judgments voters make. Again, D, our final supporting detail, one voter said that they liked how one politician spoke during their speeches. That would be a second judgment people make when they vote. So whether it's opinions and beliefs or how one person speaks versus another, those all fall under the topic of judgments voters make. The author's main point is that people make several judgments when they choose who to vote for. Now, read the following paragraph and ask yourself, who or what is the selection about? Again, we're thinking overall in a word or two, what is the topic? Many countries around the world allow citizens to vote over the internet, by text message, and with other electronic devices in national elections. However, in Canada's national elections, we still vote using a system that hasn't changed from when the earliest votes in Canada's histories were cast. In today's modern society, isn't there a better way to vote than marking a piece of paper and putting it in a box? There are several reasons that Canada has been slow to adopt high-tech forms of electronic voting. For one, no government has made electronic voting a priority. Another reason is that internet voting is still not as safe and secure as the traditional methods. Many Canadians are distrustful of voting on the internet if they feel it's not totally secure. A final reason is that experts aren't sure if electronic voting would actually encourage more people to vote. Several experts argue that it might be too complicated for some voters, and that it would only allow people who already vote to do so more easily. Other experts argue that it would allow citizens who traditionally are less likely to vote, such as youth, the ability to become involved in our political process more easily. Again, as we read through this paragraph, we're asking ourselves, what is the general topic or subject of this text? One way to find a topic is to look for repeating words. As you read through this, think, what words are repeated most often? You may have noticed that the words vote, voting, electronic voting are repeated often and regularly throughout the text from start to finish. This is a strong indication that the topic of this text is electronic voting. If we think back to what the text said, from start to finish, it is discussing electronic voting. Whether it's reasons Canada doesn't have electronic voting, or reasons we should have electronic voting, or reasons we shouldn't have electronic voting, from start to finish, it discusses electronic voting. That is the topic of this text. Now that we know the topic, let's think, what is the main idea of this paragraph? We know it involves the topic electronic voting. So we ask ourselves, what is the author's main point about electronic voting? The main idea of this paragraph would be this sentence. There are several reasons that Canada has been slow to adopt high-tech forms of electronic voting. The majority of this paragraph gives reasons that Canada has been slow to adopt electronic voting. One reason is that no government has made electronic voting a priority. Another reason is that it's still not as safe as secure. A final reason is that experts aren't sure if electronic voting would actually encourage more people to vote. By starting just with the topic, just with the subject of the paragraph, we're able to work towards finding the main idea and finding the specific details. Remember, one way of finding the main idea is by asking yourself, who or what is the selection about?